Hey, how you doing, man? It's your boy Rod T, man. You know where my man Rock is at, man. He behind the camera. I'm here with an astonishing young lady. Could you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ryanna Miller.
All right. Now, Miss Miller is going to tell you some great things and some great aspects about her goals in life and what she's striving to become. So let's jump right into it. What are you doing right now with your life?
Currently, I'm pursuing a master's at American University, particularly in international relations with a concentration in conflict resolution and management negotiation.
I don't know what none of that means, but I just know I had to be here. You know what I'm saying? I just know she's doing some profile. All right, so now let's backtrack. So now y'all know what she's doing with her life. Let's tell about where you're from. Tell them where you're from.
I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, 907.
Please. I don't even know how to call that right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was actually born in D.C. I was born into poverty, actually.
Okay.
My mother is 23 when she had me. I was her fifth kid.
Wow.
Couldn't support another child, so I was given up for adoption at birth. And I was fortunate and blessed enough to be raised by a single Caucasian mother in Anchorage, Alaska. It's very interesting.
I will tell you right now, you might want to go ahead and get your movie script ready. this is just it's unbelievable for me to even be here to know what you're going through, and you don't look like no poverty has been near you at all.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So
there's been some struggles,
but
I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into some of the struggles. What was the struggle of going where you are now and coming from Alaska?
I think the first one was the mix of cultures.
Okay.
Although Alaska isn't America, for some of you who may not think it is.
Okay. It's
it was
49 states. 49.
I grew up in a very diverse environment.
Okay.
So I was around a lot of Latinos and Asians and Pacific Islanders, but going to a historically black college when I was 19 was definitely interesting in Alabama. So
okay. What's the name of the university?
Alabama A&M University. Go Bulldogs.
Oh, good girl. Go ahead.
So there I was actually offered a full academic scholarship. So I studied there for 4 years, got my degree in political science and international relations, and I was fortunate enough to study abroad with Duke University in South Africa. Was involved in a lot of organizations, joined Alpha Kappa Alpha. So it was a great transition. It was a little bouncy at first, having some language barriers, food choices. I remember one time in the cafeteria.
Okay. I knew you was gonna get us Alabamians at some point. Go ahead.
Alaska has the best seafood for some of those who may not know. Original, exactly, exactly. So going to the cafeteria one day, and I said, well, we got fresh Alaska whiting, baby. I said, that doesn't look like fresh Alaskan fish. You gonna eat it or you gonna starve? So I was like, oh, well, all right, yes ma'am, I'll take a piece, Right. It was definitely a whole culture shock at first, and just the way different foods and the way people spoke and things like that, but I loved it. Alabama's like my second home, so. Right,
and I do want to comment to you. I mean, you have the nice courage, you have the nice smile, you have everything going, and the reason why I'm saying that because your diet, the way that you came from Alaska and things that you eat, a lot of people starve themselves or try to do other things to try to keep the shape or be full figured or what have you.
Yeah.
And what you bring to the table, you don't have to do that.
Not at all. The way I approach my dieting and just like healthy lifestyles is really, I was vegan for a long time, so I didn't eat any dairy, any animal products. But through that, now I eat fish and some seafood, but very organic. It's better to eat 6 to 7 times a day. So sometimes I'll snack on some blueberries or an apple or some almonds to keep eating, and then I kind of eat my bigger meals during lunchtime and but it's all about what you put into your body. I don't work out as much as I like to anymore, but it's still about your intake, and I drink a lot of cranberry juice to detox, a lot of water, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great. So what did you take from your childhood by being adopted and actually now being on your own? From that period with your mother with 5 other kids and giving you up for adoption, and then now another parent taking you on, help some of the kids out with that mindset who's going through personal struggles in their life. How did you How do you transition through that?
I think what worked best for me is being able to understand every person's aspect of life. So my mother being Caucasian, she was kind of a hippie, being raised in California. I was able to kind of get that sense of her life. And then I had, African American friends and Asian friends. So I really took every aspect of their lives. And so I think that was what transformed me into getting into international relations. You can throw me in a room with anybody and I can just mesh. Because I had to learn at a very young age, being the only black person in a whole white family, at a family reunion. I'm running around at the pool, I'm the only black child. Someone's like, who brought her? Whose child is this? Being able to have to sit down and say, hey, I'm just like you. So I started to learn at a very young age what humanity meant. And so that deals with what I want to do with my future in terms of nonprofits, international human rights, international humanitarian law.
And those are your focus.
And those are my focus, definitely. I've just recently got into grant writing. Here in Atlanta, I took a certificate program at Emory. So I've been able to really figure out how to get sources of funding for people. So I think without my childhood and those struggles of having to always feeling like I was different and always feeling like I always had the biggest butt in class. My butt never fit on a carpet square, during reading time and getting rocks thrown at my butt, I'm just like, what? So
how far can it bounce today?
Right, exactly, every day. So it was, being able to embrace some of those struggles and those differences is what actually brought me to my career.
Exactly. And see, that's a great thing. That's a great thing you bring to the world.
Thank you.
And I know when, people see this, they're going to feel, very relieved and very, moved by it.
I'm glad.
All right. And so now you moved from prior to Atlanta. What were you?
Okay. I was in Cleveland for a year. I actually did a year of law school. Yes.
Okay.
So decided to go and get my master's, and eventually I want to go back, but law school is very expensive as well. So next time I go back, I'm going to be looking for scholarships.
Right. So so although you have all these great things going for you, you still make the best decision for your life as far as economics and the economy wise and things of that nature.
Definitely.
So now, what are your long-term goals?
My long-term goals are to be able to eventually buy a house within the next year.
At what age? What age are you?
I'm 25. I just turned 25. I actually just opened up my first retirement fund the other day, invested some money in stocks like last week. So I've been trying to really get on the ball of being financially secure, which will carry me into my long-term goals of eventually opening up my own nonprofit, my own consulting firm. I also want to flip houses. I love home design. And get my master's, get my law degree, and basically just change the world. I really do believe in world peace.
Sounds great, man. Look, this is Rod T with Real Radio 101. Before we leave, I want you to let everybody know when they need some grant writing, they need something, in that field.
Yes.
Give them your contacts, as far as just your email, your email and things of that nature. Go ahead.
Sounds good. Hello, everyone. My email is rymiller, MILLER, _52@yahoo.com. Send me an email anytime and I can let you know some stuff.
All right, well, look, there you have it, man. It's been Rod T. It's been Real Radio 101. It's been Rock Riz behind the camera. We out of here. Thank you.
You're welcome.